Okay, so I'm Roel from MOYU Notebooks. So what's on the menu for today? I'm gonna give you a little bit different story than Tony just did, because I'm gonna talk a bit more about business and having a sustainable company. And since we are quite new, we're here for just a year, I'm gonna tell you a bit more about the business side of setting up a sustainable company. I started been talking about myself, and then I'm going to talk about what's actually the problem in the world with the paper industry. Then about a solution, the partner that we work with. I'm going to give you a small timeline of what we did the last year, and then some obstacles that we have. And then I'm going to give you some teasers of what's up next. So this is me. I did my bachelor's in business economics at the Hogeschool of Utrecht, and I did my master's in international business economics. And there I did my track sustainable entrepreneurship. And I just said I also had a talk from Tony Chocoloni, which was super cool, super inspiring to hear their story. As you can see, I didn't start out as a sustainable entrepreneur. I started working for Rabobank. Then I went into consultancy for a year. Then I did my traineeship at Rabobank. Then I fled away to Kenya for a year, lived in Kenya, worked for Charlie's Travels at an NGO which was called Free Kenya, Feed Africa Stevia. But in the background, I was always reading and thinking about setting up a sustainable business, because I really believe that we can use business as a force of good by actually making products that do, or services that actually do good for the world, but at the same time, we can run a business with it. So when I came back from Kenya, I started with Alpha Book, which is a sort of easy start for MOYU. So what I did is I got in the business of erasable notebooks, and how I started out was by basically I just bought my first erasable notebook, but I imported it from China. And with that notebook, I was walking around with Rabobank, and someone said, "Hey, that's cool. It really works nice. Oh, that's cool." So then I said, "You know what? I'll just buy a few more, and I'll just give it to you." And that sort of kept on going until the point that I thought, like, you know what? There's so much interest in this product. I should maybe just start a business out of that. So basically, what I did, I built a web shop and started selling these notebooks, got a contract with the Chinese supplier, and I did that for a year next to my job. And then there was, for me, like some frictions with the fact that it was being made in China, and it was not super transparent for me. So that at one point I was like, okay, if I really want to do this, I want to do this good. So then I said, okay, then I really want to make the best possible erasable notebook as possible. So I'll tell you a bit more about what MOYU is in the next few slides. So what's actually the problem? We have a huge loss of wilderness due to deforestation. Every 2 seconds, a football pitch of forest is being cut down, and 35% of all these trees are cut down and used to make paper, and half of that is used for the graphical paper industry. At the same time, we're also over-consuming. There's a lot of single-use wood, paper, and products that are just used once. Because using wood is not that bad. Using wood to make paper and use it once is actually very bad. A lot of people say, yeah, but you can recycle paper, right? Well, paper mills are one of the worst pollutants in the US, and recycling uses lots and lots of water, chemicals, and energy. And you can only recycle paper up to 7 times, and every time you have to add like fresh pulp. And last but not least, but the paper industry is one of the most polluting industries worldwide, and it's responsible for 7% of CO2 emissions, 3 times as much as the whole flight industry. So basically, this whole situation made me think like I have to do something about this. So we came up with MOYU. So what's MOYU? We made a notebook that's made from stone paper. And stone paper is actually way less harmful for the environment than regular paper. There's no trees need to be cut down. There's no chemicals used, no water, way less energy. So in the production side, it's making less impact than regular paper. The beautiful thing about stone paper is that it is water resistant. So you can actually, with the erasable pen, you can actually write things down and you can erase it again. So up to 500 times, which makes the product way more sustainable in the using phase. And then for every notebook that we sell, we want to create new nature. So we plant the tree in cooperation with Trees for Kenya.
So there's some nice designs on there.
So this is the partner where we work with in Kenya. As I said, I also lived in Kenya and I did my research into tree planting project. And there's actually a lot of greenwashing going on in this industry. So a lot of companies are actually planting trees, but the impact that these trees are making is often negative because often plots of land are being used that used to be used by farmers, small income farmers, and on this land often are non-native trees planted and often monocultures. So what you see is like, let's say there's pines planted in South America and those trees were originally not from there. And Trees for Kenya works different. What they do is they plant back the trees that are cut down around the area of Mount Kenya, and they do that by the females in that community, and the money earned goes back to that community. So as said, we started just a year ago. I started with Elfenbook. For me, that was a bit like the testing phase. Like, is there any demand for such a product? And it turned out it was. So what we did is we got this beautiful opportunity to make our first product for eco schools. That was in November 2019. We didn't even have a product back then, but because 80 directors of 80 countries were coming to the Netherlands to an event, all the directors of the eco schools worldwide, we thought we have to make a product and give every director one of our products. So we did. Then in December we actually did our first production round for the web shop, and we started doing acquisition for the business to business side. So what we actually did is we just took our LinkedIn networks, found companies, and just start calling, texting, emailing them to get in touch with them to explain them what the impact is of the paper industry and if they want to get in touch. So over the course of about 3 months, we got in touch with about 40 large corporates that were actually interested in doing something with our paper. And then, unfortunately, Corona came. Roel Bank became one of our clients, but after that, most companies said, very nice product still, but Corona will get back to you after the Corona is over. So what we then did is, okay, still people are using paper, but now they're using paper at home. So what we immediately did is made a product that was helping people working from home. So we came up with a MOYU power placement with a to-do list, a week planner, etc., that would make working from home more fun. At the same time, we started 2 interns started. And then in April 20, just after Corona came, we found out that we made a big production mistake with our first production run from December. And basically we had to replace all the products that we already sold to clients. But we always said for us it's really important that since we are selling a notebook that lasts a lifetime, that people actually get a notebook that lasts a lifetime. And if we made a production mistakes, which means that the product only lasts a year, then we take it back and we replace it. It cost a lot of money, but I think it was very good for our branding. In June 20, what we always do is we try to get as much feedback possible from customers. So we already had people buying from our web store. So what we did is we asked them, what colors do you want? We want a wire rope binder, A5, A6. And from that, basically from the feedback from clients, we started producing, it's already 12 minutes, I'll speed up a bit. From clients' feedback, we started producing new products. And actually, as of July, we really started to grow on the webshop sales. And then in August again, we got banned on Facebook, and we didn't have sales for a whole month. So that was amazing. So after that, once we got the ban over, we started focusing on more marketing channels. We were just focused on one marketing channel. So what we learned was, okay, also start blogging, vlogging, Instagram, etc., so that we had a more diversified marketing strategy. Obstacles along the way, I already talked about it a bit. So we didn't have any more ads, so no more revenues, but we learned a lot about marketing. What we do is constantly be in touch with our clients. What we learned is that actually, because my passion for sustainability, I thought people were buying the product because they also were really interested in sustainability. But we learned that the main point for people buying the product was not the sustainability part, but the fact that the product looked nice, worked nice. They had one notebook that could do everything, that lasted a lifetime. We didn't have to go back to the store every time. And oh, by the way, it's really nice that it is sustainable as well. So I think it goes hand in hand. You have to make a very good product that is produced in the most sustainable way, but just making a very sustainable product that does not work is not enough. So what's next for us? We currently have a super big, amazing co-creation coming up with the Dutch writer Dennis Storm, and we are making a more functional workbook that teaches you the basics of minimalism within a year. And every month you get a new thing to work on. Let's say consuming less, saving more, etc., etc. That's going to be really cool. And the first quarter of 2021, we finally want to start selling in stores in the Netherlands, because we were not selling in any stores yet. And we're working on some new products, A4 sketchbook, flip overs, pens, etc. Well, it was a very, very quick presentation, and I think not technical, not as good as expected, but I'm still open for any other questions. You can go to our website, add me on LinkedIn, or just send me an email if you want any more information or talk or whatsoever. And I added something for everyone that's listening. If you want to order a MOYU notebook and try it, and then you can use this discount code, and it will be available until Sunday. So enjoy the ride, we always say.